jurisdiction and powers of all courts except the Supreme Court. Now let me stop here. Your Lordship, Ladyship, may just keep your eye on the word jurisdiction and power because it will occur again, but in a different form. With respect to any of the matters in this list. Now, this of course is not relevant only to the extent that enlargement of jurisdiction and supplementary powers have to be understood by the first part. So it's a different thing which is being talked about in the second part when one is talking about the Supreme. Now,
और अंडर से पढ़े ना और अंडर
जी and to such extent as expressly authorized by or under the Constitution. So this is the first condition, that if you want to legislate under this entry, then you need a conferment by or under the Constitution.
So, is it your argument that this by or under would bring in item 58?
No, this is okay. But there are two restrictions on this entry. It is not an open-ended entry.
So you're saying that this, to such extent as expressly authorized, is to be read on the first part of the entry relating to the High Courts and other courts, or to the Supreme Court?
No, second
or
part.
both?
Second part.
Second part.
Yes.
Okay.
To the Supreme Court part.
Okay.
To such extent as is expressly authorized by or under the Constitution. Now you need to seek this conferment of power from other provisions of the Constitution, either expressed by or necessary implication. But that power.
55 में Mr. Faisal ये जो दो लाइनें हैं ना, with respect to the matters in the list, ये तो हो गया बाकी कोर्ट्स के लिए.
ये तो कोर्ट्स के लिए हो गया. ये हमारे लिए
जो शुरू हुआ वो फिर आगे सुप्रीम कोर्ट का तस्करा.
जी. अब सुप्रीम कोर्ट.
हाँ चल. इसके मानी पे एक्सटेंट के.
और इसमें जो express authorization, the words used are expressly authorized by the Constitution. Where do you get the express authorization from?
Yes,
explain
but it is by or under. That is critical.
No. You see, express means express.
No.
It can't be implied.
By
when it says express, then it has to be express.
I'll
you can't read implied.
Let me just
into
explain the other two restrictions, and then I'll come back to this.
I am really enjoying your physical motions. It makes me a little dizzy, but I'm really refreshing also.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's just on the lighter side.
If we stop him, we won't be able to argue.
No. I just find it very refreshing.
Sub Article 2. This is the only exercise I get, sir. Sir, the first restriction is the enlargement of the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. Now, your Lordship will see the difference between the first part and the second part. You can't legislate in relation to all matters in any way when it comes to the Supreme Court. It must be, there is a restriction involved. You have to justify the law as enlarging the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court.
But expressly or
yes.
वो बताएं वो कहाँ है?
उसका क्या मानी है?
एक मिनट second part पढ़ लूँ जी. And the conferring thereon supplementary powers. So it's not that you can legislate on any powers of relating to the Supreme Court. It should be a law that confers powers on the Supreme Court, supplementary.
In addition to what is already mentioned.
Ji?
In addition to what is already there.
Yes. So this is a way to protect the jurisdiction and the powers of the Supreme Court. That if the
Parliament दोनों है ना, एक तो enlargement का भी है, then supplemental powers का भी है.
लेकिन सर एसेंस, सर दोनों की एसेंस क्या है? दोनों की एसेंस ये है कि आप कमी नहीं कर सकते, आप इस कर सकते हैं.
हमें जरा उसका मानी बताइए ना, जो to such extent as is expressly authorized by or under the Constitution. We understand the enlargement.
Yes. The way I understand
उसका क्या मानी?